guys, and welcome back to another episode of Draw with T/Draw with Tay. We are still figuring out the name. And as you can see on the left, I have been drawing hippogriffs, and today is no exception. But with a slight difference, today I am focusing in on drawing my character Stormscreech the hippogriff, who is kind of a, would I say mascot? Just sort of the animal, not quite comic relief character, but just kind of one of the main, but not really main characters of the fantasy story Kalismir that I've been working on writing. Stormscreech is basically the mount and best friend of one of the main characters, Tristan Blackwood. And you know, Stormscreech is kind of like a mix between a mute friend and a dog, I would say. She's very loyal to Tristan, and you know, they're kind of like two doofy best friends. They enjoy riding through the woods and pretending that they're a knight and, you know, a valiant griffin steed. But they're both kind of, you know, well, a little derpy. Maybe not full on derp, especially Stormscreech. Stormscreech is actually a badass character, probably the most badass of the quote-unquote four main characters. The problem is, you know, she can't talk. You know, she's smart, you know, kind of like in the way that Disney horses are, but you know, she's not like solving any great puzzles. Her main concern is basically beating people up, especially people that you know, that are mean to Tristan, or, you know, get between her and Tristan's friendship, you know, and yeah, she just kind of randomly, well, not randomly, she just sort of bites first, asks questions later. She's a very, very fun character. So here, this is kind of the first of a few pages of concepts that I'm doing. If you've watched all my previous episodes, then you kind of, you know, you're finally getting to see the fruits of all the studies that I've done. So you know, I'm bringing in the markings of the Osprey. The shape of the beak is also very Osprey-like, although the ears are probably closest to like a wolf or a dog, which, you know, I didn't really do any studies of, but that's mainly because I own three or four dogs, depends on the day of the week. I've had a lot of dogs in my life, but cats, birds, and horses, not so much. So yeah, this is basically the first page of re-exploring Stormscreech. I believe it is episode 2 where I was doing expressions of Stormscreech, and I think if you look between this page and that page, you'll see a lot of changes, but things are actually going to change beyond this page. There's a couple more episodes of concepts about Stormscreech that'll be coming down the pipeline here, and you'll get to see just like how I go through thinking about a character and, you know, how they can change. And I'm no character design master, but I'm actually excited to show you guys all these episodes. I know it doesn't make for the best YouTube TV to have like 4 or 5 or however many episodes of somebody just filling up a page trying to figure out a character, but the reason I'm excited is I feel like that's very honest, and I haven't seen that on YouTube before. Maybe it exists and it's just hasn't crossed my radar, but I feel like it's important to show people, especially like young artists who want to get into this, who may be feeling insecure because they don't just sit down and blammo, beautiful character comes out in one drawing, and they think it's supposed to be that way because we've made this sort of entertaining YouTube videos where somebody's done all of the work I'm showing you, but they've done it off screen to, you know, make for more efficient TV as they explain to you the concept of character design and, you know, what a successful design looks like. And I'm more interested in showing you guys just how I work, so, you know, in future me or future somebody has a record of me, because, you know, it's kind of important outside of being a YouTube celebrity, which is probably not going to happen. But then also I just want to sort of be that voice of honesty. Like, you know, I want to be that person that says, hey, yeah, all those other YouTube videos, they're absolutely 100% right. Those people are much better and more qualified to give you advice than I am, but let me show you what hard work looks like. Let me show you what you've got to do over and over and over again to be world class, or whatever your artistic goals are. Let me show you that it's okay if you stumble along, if you fill up 20 sketchbooks and you're still trying to design a character, but it's getting better and better. This is how it is. And I know it's just how one person does it, but that might just be one person more than has been doing it, and I think one voice is better than none if we're talking about people showing the honesty of their process. I'm quite happy to let you guys see like my quote unquote backstage, because I'm kind of a sketch artist. A lot of my friends, they do the beautiful finished illustrative work, and I'm capable of that too, but I just find I love my sketchbooks. I love filling sketchbooks. I get a good satisfaction from filling them up. And I sketch way more than I do finished art. That's just how I am naturally. I'm more of a storyboard artist. I come up with ideas. I pose things, and then, in that job industry, somebody else comes along and, does the finished animation, and it looks pretty and beautiful. I basically give you an idea of things. I'm as much writer as I am artist. I'm like a visual storyteller. That's kind of what I do. And some people are really, really good at the visual. I'm less so, but I have the edge of writing and just other stuff. And I mean, everybody's talent varies. I'm no world-class person. I probably never will be, but I'm just gonna do my thing, right? And if I can inspire somebody to do their thing, or to feel comfortable with their sketchbooking, or just have somebody understand that, no, it does take hard work, and yeah, you are going to have to fill up 20 pages to get a character looking half decent. That's normal. In fact, you might even have to do more. If somebody has a sigh of relief and can take it easy and not beat themselves up, then job well done, I think, on my part. But that's we've kind of gone off topic here. So this is me redoing Stormscreech. If you want an idea of what she looked like and you haven't been following all my other episodes, check out episode 2. That kind of shows you her face at the time, and I actually quite like those expressions. I like the expressions in episode 2 more than the ones I've currently drawn here on the page, but that's because I'm drawing. I'm actually referencing Pinterest pictures of ospreys and horses and cats that you can't see. And also to the right of that, you also can't see this obviously because you can't see my monitor. I actually have pictures of the studies that I did. It sounds weird to people. Doesn't sound weird to me, but sometimes my art makes for really good reference. If I've drawn horses and stuff, and I look at how I drew horses, so I know how to draw the hind feet of horses, that helps me because I'm the artist. I know how I built those lines. Usually, sometimes I forget. Depends on how long it's been and how memorable and how well I did it. But it helps me because I know, like, that's what I did. That's my art. I know the lines. I remember the struggles. So when I look at it, it can be like, oh, okay, I kind of forgot that I have to do a circle here and, draw this shape here and remember to make this smaller than I think it should be. And, that helps me as much as looking at other people's references. So this is like one of the first kind of full bodies in flight that I did. I didn't... this one wasn't going to be a full body one. It was just going to be kind of like a little shouting head. But then I went and made it a full body, and it kind of got cramped. Proportioning is really weird, but you know what? I kind of like... I just sort of like it. It's a bit goofy, a little bit off, but there's something I like about just the spontaneity of it. Maybe because it's not something I would choose to draw. I wouldn't cramp an image like that in there, and I wouldn't quite draw it at that size either, but I don't know.
Just something about being an artist. Every now and then you draw something weird, but you like it. Maybe that's just me. My likes are not confined to just things that are perfect and awesome. And I think that's okay. And then after that, I started doing some more gestures. As I've said long time ago, in probably episode 2 or 1 or 3 or something like that, the first page of me doing a character or something, like, the first page of me doing a long series of explorations where I'm trying to figure out something tends to just be a page of, a mix of like sketchy crap, a lot of mistakes, and just sort of me being all over the place or me focusing in too much on something. It's basically, you got to do more than one page. You got to go further than one page. It's just how it is, at least for me. I don't know too many people that can nail beautiful, perfect concepts in one page. I think they would probably have to be drawing for like 50 plus years and have a specialty that they're working off of for that to happen. Or, somebody is just, whoever they're working for is just really easy to please. And I think that's the only time that happens. Yeah, and I was actually quite happy with a lot of these drawings. There's room for improvement, but this is really the first page where things start coming along. The separate animal pieces start coming together, and I start, things go from being this nebulous pot of, well, it could be this, and it could be this, and it could be this, to ideas suddenly taking on a more solid shape of, no, I know this piece is going to be this, so what will this other piece be? It's kind of like, it's going to sound weird, but kind of like how planets form. First it's just a bunch of nebulous dust, and then it's slightly bigger rocks, and then bigger rocks, and then suddenly, bam, you got a planet. And that just when you think it's all, said and done, suddenly, bam, 2 planets smash together and become more rocks. Now I'm gone on a bit of a tangent. So like here you can see now I've kind of like, okay, I like this shape of the hind leg, but how can I take it further? I like this idea of these 2 little sort of vestigial toes, or, I don't know, sticking out the backside, but, how else can I make the hind leg feel unified with the front? Do I add feathers? Do I add hair? How big are those feathers? What angle do they stick out at? Or, do they flop down? Do they go up? How is this going to look? And I was kind of erased it a few times there. Usually I'll just draw a few variations side by side, but I think when I was doing that, I thought, no, the next one is going to be the right one. So, I'll erase it. And, but then I kept changing it, and I realized it's, kind of a little bit, it's going to take a bit more time to figure that out, because, the one on the right I think looks cool with the feathers going up, but then the left hoof I draw kind of this hair going down, and that looks cool. But then when I kind of like reverse those 2 ideas, suddenly, I don't like the hair going down when the hoof is on the ground, and the feathers might not look so cool if the hoof is up in the air. So, this is going to be something that requires a bit more consideration going forward. I don't think I actually arrived to a conclusion on that when I was doing this. But yeah, here you can see I now like draw the fur on the back end again. I'm like, well, maybe not. Maybe it just needs to be thin. Maybe I'll just leave that for another day. And then here I think I tried to cartoonize the character a little bit more, because I realized that the first couple heads seemed rather animalistic, or a little bit too realistic almost, maybe a little too close to the expressive Osprey drawings I did. And I'm like, no, you know what, I did prefer the proportions in episode 2, the big eyes, the kind of the shape of that beak. And I think here I was just trying to, I had very little room left, so I was going to just draw some stuff. And I exaggerated the 4 claws here just to see how I like the look of, these big, maybe, these big limbs, like big hands, big hoofs, or whether I wanted them to be small. I know I didn't want them to be dainty, because this isn't really a dainty character. This is a scrappy fighter of a character. Yeah, and here I'm just kind of filling up the page. And I was also debating about how much how far the feathers go down the arm. You know, is it going to be bald from like the elbow down? Is it going to be bald just from the wrist down? Is it all going to be feathered? You know, I wasn't quite sure. Also, how do I want the front feet to sit on the ground is something that's gonna I'll probably be struggling with in the future, but that's basically it. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I know I kind of hate saying that. Feels weird saying it, but you know, I enjoy having a community here on YouTube. So yeah, hope to see you guys in the next episode, and have a good day or whenever you're watching this.